British pubs are concerned they're going to run out of Guinness beer. There's brown snow falling in Maine, and the town wants you to not eat it. And Russia sends 100 elite goats to North Korea. These are the weird stories on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a guy inside a closet. I'm ready. Are you? Let's do it. British pubs are worried that they're going to run out of Guinness. I'm covering this story because it's kind of weird, but also I just love Guinness. It's one of my favorite beers. It might be my favorite beer. I do drink quite a bit of stout for whatever reason. I just find it to be the tastiest, so I'm all about the stout, although it is rather filling. As one of my exes used to say, I'd say, hey, you want a Guinness? And she would say, no, thanks, I already ate. All right, I shouldn't be doing other people's jokes on here, but she'll never hear this. It says here, at the Sheephaven Bay Pub in London. You guys know the place. You guys hang at the Sheephaven Pub. It's a cool spot. Get some bangers and mash in there. This place is tucked just behind the Camden High Street. Guinness at this pub accounts for more than 50% of all of the draft beer sales. That's what owner Pat Logue told the media. He also said this year he's already sold double the amount of Guinness that he did 2 years ago. The Irish stout, known for its distinctive warm brown color, creamy foam head, and unique method of being poured, has long been known as the drink of choice for rugby lads and men at the pub. Men, 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 men. That's right, Guinness, baby. I actually took a tour of the Guinness factory that one time I was in Ireland. I was with a tour group. I somehow got wrapped up into this tour group, and some of the things they did I wanted to join, but others... They were going to kiss some stone. They were going to go kiss a rock. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm going to go to the Guinness factory. You have fun kissing a rock. I don't know why you would kiss a rock, man. What, do you want to get herpes? All right, let's get back to the article where it's about to take a very dark, foamy, stouty turn, I surmise. It says, in the past 2 years, Guinness has skyrocketed in popularity, especially among young people and women. Well, that's nice to know that they're actually making an effort to have some tasty beer. You know, I think that light beer is just the pits, man. I don't know why you would want to spend money on that. And I'm not a fan of IPAs, as they're just very bitter. They seem to be very popular these days. At least in the States, the IPAs are number one. You very rarely find stouts on tap here. It's quite frustrating for someone like me. I remember one time I got booked on a comedy show at a beer festival. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be amazing. I'm going to be able to drink for free. I got there. They gave me this like wristband. They're like, oh, your talent. You get to drink for free everywhere at all these beer vendors. I'm looking around. It's probably 30 beer vendors all pouring beers. And then I see one. Oh, this one's IPA. Next one, IPA. It dawns on me. This is an IPA beer festival that I'm performing at. Yeah, I can drink all I want. I can't stand IPA. It was terrible, man. I had to run out and go to the Packy just to get myself something to drink. You guys know about the Packy? It's a Boston thing. There's a lot of references in this one. I should get to the deets of this. You guys want to learn about the Guinness shortage, don't you? And what we're going to do to deal with this? It's worse than running out of toilet paper, I tell you. It says here from July to October, sales of Guinness increased by over 23%. That's unbelievable. Specifically, sales of Guinness in the keg format grew 20.9%. By the end of October, Guinness was the top-selling beer in the UK by volume across the entirety of 2024, according to Nielsen data. Social media influencers and marketing campaigns have helped to dispel notions that Guinness is a drink for older men. The owner of this pub, Logue, credited influencers on TikTok for making Guinness very trendy and showcasing different pubs through video reviews that rank and compare the best poured pints all around London. He said it's no surprise to see a group of 6 young people, 3 guys, 3 girls maybe, walk up to the bar at the Sheephaven Bay and order a round of Guinness, something that he said was unheard of years ago. Why was that unheard of? Because they're young and there's girls? Yeah. He says, quote, it used to be portrayed as an older man's beer, but now it's for everybody. Now it's a cool drink. Well, that's great. I'm happy to hear that it's a cool drink. I think it's a great drink. You know, it would make me upset if it wasn't available during the holiday season, of course. It says, with the sudden increase in demand, Guinness has told some pub owners that it would set allocation limits on Guinness to ensure distribution can last through the holiday season. So it looks like they're going to limit the amount of Guinness they're selling. My goodness, my Guinness! Do you guys know the mascot for Guinness? Do you have any idea? Let's do some trivia here. I didn't know this until I visited the Guinness factory. There's a mascot for Guinness. It's an animal. I'll tell you later on in the segment. It says here, over the past month, we've seen exceptional consumer demand for Guinness. This is the spokesperson for Guinness. We have maximized supply. We are working proactively with our customers to manage the distribution to trade as efficiently as possible. They want to meet the demand and have enough supply for these pub owners, especially during the holiday season, which is often the busiest time of the year and crucial for profit margins. Oh, well, dig this. While Guinness is in exceptional demand in Great Britain, the stout has also grown in popularity in the United States. I had no idea. I don't see a lot of people drinking it. Guinness was the top imported beer in the U.S. across the past 12 months, ending in October, according to Nielsen. How is that? That's outrageous, man. I would think it was Modelo, right? Is Modelo from Mexico? I see more Modelo, although maybe it's because I'm in Los Angeles. So Mexican beers here, I guess, would be popular. I'm happy to see that Guinness is gaining in popularity, though, all around. It's great. Although it sounds like might have to deal with a shortage, which is not so great. So Guinness, you're going to have to open up another. Why don't you open up a factory over here, man? Just come on over here. Get a little plot of land in Englewood or something. That'd be funny if there was a Guinness plant in Englewood. That would be wild. Well, I think the ideal city to open a Guinness factory in the U.S. would be Boston because there's so many Irish people. That would be perfect. But then we already have Sam Adams, and that might be a thing. I don't know. There's room for Guinness though in Boston, a Guinness factory. That's be a tremendous idea. How do I pitch this to the guy, the Mr. Guinness? Is that his name? His name is probably Lester Guinness or Gary Guinness or Linus Guinness. It's probably just Tom. Some boring Irish first name. No, it's just Tom. Wow, I really milk-stouted this story, didn't I? Did I not? Yeah, a little too long here, so let me wrap it up. I will tell you the mascot for the beer Guinness is, surprisingly, a bird. It's a toucan, which I believe is a tropical bird, so I don't know where they got on that, but yeah, it's the toucan. And when you drink Guinness, you want 2 cans. There's a brown snowfall in Maine, and the town wants you to not eat that brown snow. I've never been told not to eat the brown snow. Of course, I've been told not to eat the yellow snow. Do you guys know that song? Look out where the Huskies go, and don't you eat that yellow snow. Any Zappa fans? I mean, if you like weird news, you probably should enjoy Frank Zappa, one of the weirdest musical artists in our recent history. All right, let's get into the story and find out why the snow is brown, where it's coming from, and why they're telling people not to eat it. I don't know who would eat brown crappy snow, but apparently people are maybe they're doing it. Stories out of Rumford, Maine. Residents of a Maine town are being asked to avoid touching or ingesting the brown snow that fell recently in the area. According to the Facebook post from the town of Rumford, the town was treated to a not-so-white pre-Christmas snowfall the other day. It's oddly colored snow. Photos were posted as well. According to the post on Facebook, a paper mill malfunction led to the brown snow after spent black liquor, a byproduct of the paper-making process, was released from Mumford's paper mill. Oh, it sounds like some kind of toxic waste from a factory. I thought it had to do with some sort of excrement from, I don't know, flying birds? Birds, what else? I don't know, maybe there's some we wouldn't have seagulls in Maine probably, but maybe a lot of crows just with diarrhea somehow. Yeah, just raining down, a little dookie downfall for Christmas. I'm dreaming of a brown shitmas, just like the ones I've been told not to ingest. All right, I'm being rather juvenile singing crap Christmas-related parodies of songs. According to the Rumford officials, the Maine Department of Environmental Protection is in the town investigating this situation about the brown snow, telling people not to eat it. This is number 1 on the list. You have to tell people not to eat the brown snow. People will eat it. They'll definitely eat it. I've covered stories with people are drinking their own urine for, quote, health benefits. So, eating brown snow off the ground that smells like diarrhea, that ain't that far off, you know what I mean? The brown snow has been tested and the pH result was 8 or less, just slightly higher than water on the pH scale. I guess that's helpful. Why don't you find out what the brown stuff is, though? Oh, I think I had it up top. What is it? It's a liquor of some sort. A black liquor. Can you get drunk off the brown snow? Oh, now maybe I want it. Now it's like Guinness. See how everything just comes all back to Guinness, guys? It's a Guinness snowfall. A tasty brown Guinness snow, foamy, and it'll get you cocked. I'm sure that RFK Jr. is going to come out and tell you that there's health benefits to this brown snow and that you should put it in your next smoothie. All right, here's a quote from the health department. I'll try and do a Maine accent. I'm not so good at them, although I've heard them many times. In order to help alleviate public concerns, the mill has agreed to pay for third-party testing, which will be done independently with snow samples that'll be sent to a lab with a protected chain of custody. Based on a guidance from the DEP, we are confident that the public safety concerns are minimal at this time. Out of an abundance of caution, town officials are advising residents to avoid ingesting or have direct skin contact with this brown, nasty, putrid snow. Is it me, or do they always sound so stupid when they come out and tell you not to do the obvious? I know they're supposed to, but it's just... I'm always like, who is this warning for? Because I'll tell you right now, the people that would consider grabbing a spoon and going out there and actually slurping up some brown snow are very unconvincible. They're not convinced by public announcements. They don't even pay attention to them. When you're out of your mind, service announcements don't get through to you. You follow me? So I never know who these are for. The people that understand and would obey it would never do it in the first place. Anyways, this is just life now. You buy a very small kiddie pool. It's like 10 inches deep, and it says no diving in the center. You have to, because lawsuits. It all comes down to lawsuits. The good thing is that finally we have snow that when you make a snowman, you can say, "This is my Pakistani friend." Come on, guys. That's a good bit. Russia sends 100 elite goats to North Korea. So their best women, in other words? We will send you our elite 100 sexy goats. What is an elite goat? Let's read and find out. I've never heard of elite goats. In other words, the goat of the goats. Russia has sent a batch of pedigree dairy goats. Ooh, they're for dairy. They're pedigree. They sent them to North Korea in the latest gesture of goodwill between Vladimir Putin and his lover, Kim Jong-un. Oh, guys, is this a dowry? Oh, Putin's finally proposing. You figure the two largest dictators in the land ought to get hitched, right? No, this is probably for the troops that they sent over. I heard all of those troops at first were not fighting because... Actually, I covered the story on Weird AF News. They weren't fighting because they were watching porn all day. It's like the first time North Korean young men had gotten beyond the paywall over there so they could actually get porn. And they were spending all day watching porn and not fighting. And then the latest I heard was that they're all getting wiped out very easily. Mass casualties of the North Koreans, but... I don't know, you can never really trust the numbers coming out of Russia at the end of the day anyways. The article says this announcement of the elite goats came on Monday from the Russian Federal Customs Service, which said that the elite breed goats had been cleared by customs officers at Kazan, a town bordering both North Korea and China that serves as a common point of entry for Russian goods into the isolated country. 100 of these elite dairy goats arrived from St. Petersburg on the other side of the country and were then bound for North Korea, having passed veterinary and customs controls. Since the opening of a new route between the countries at Kazan in November 2022, over 2,000 live animals have been cleared for shipment to North Korea, including some horses from Russia's Vladimir Oblast and Holstein cows. This is according to an officer at customs. They're sending cattle and stuff up there, animals, to North Korea. For what reason? And I assume Kim Jong-un is just going to prepare them and eat them for lunch. Is that what's happening? I mean, what can these goats do? These elite goats, these baddest goats in all the land. What? I assume maybe breed with them. You're going to breed with them, so you have a bunch of great dairy goats. Goat cheese is good. I like goat cheese very much. I really do. I'm making a statement right now about goat cheese and how damn good it is. Creamy. I like the creamy goat cheese. Oh, man, so good. The article says, in addition to some livestock, Russia has gifted other animals to North Korea, seemingly as a gesture of goodwill from Putin to Kim, symbolizing the growing ties between these two morons. Between their regimes. In fact, in August, Putin sent 24 Orlov trotters, which are a breed of Russian draft horse noted for their athleticism. These horses had been microchipped to confirm the purity of their lineage. Ooh, microchipped Orlov trotters. Today I'm learning about those things. It's too bad that Kim Jong just ate all the horses. Last month, 70 animals were transferred from the Moscow Zoo to the Central Zoo in Pyongyang, including an African lion, 2 bears, 2 yaks, 25 pheasants, 40 mandarin ducks, and 5 cockatoos. Too bad Kim Jong-un ate all the pheasants and mandarin ducks and cockatoos. That guy eats everything. There's a quote between the minister here of natural resources in Russia, Alexander. Of course, his name has to be Alexander. Cooperation between Russia and the Democratic People's Republic of Korea is not only about the economy, trade, and industry. This is a large list of environmental projects. Now, friendship of the Moscow and Pyongyang zoos have been added to them. That's the end. That is the end of the article. We're sending livestock to North Korea because the dating scene is so bad over there. So, can you imagine? We're sending our elite goats, radioactive mutant goats. They make the best milk. I feel bad for anything being sent to North Korea, human or animal, really. Why, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and friends of the show, supporters of the weird, fans of the me. Appreciate all of you for spending a little time with the Weird AF News podcast. There's so many millions and bazillion podcasts out there, so I'm grateful that you allowed me into your homes and into your lives and into your workplaces and your cars or wherever. Maybe you're at the gym, maybe you're in the space station, or you're in a prison. I don't know where you might be, but I'm glad you let me into your world here, and I'm hoping that I can continuously bring you some lighthearted entertainment, let's just say, as we learn about the weird world around us. I just want to give thanks and praise to JP, who got me some coffees off my website, weirdafnews.com. JP bought me some coffees for the holiday season. Isn't that lovely? Let's give JP a round of applause. JP's very, very generous. Bought me 5 coffees. How about that? 5. That's a lot. I'll drink those in one morning, but that's still great. And then JP wrote, "Hey, Pod Daddy, stay weird and have a very Merry Christmas full of vegan strippers and small hairy wrestlers. Good luck with your life, man." What an amazing holiday wish. I love that. I'm going to print this out and put it on my wall here. Stay weird and have a very Merry Christmas full of vegan strippers and small hairy wrestlers. That's so awesome. Good luck with your life, JP. Appreciate you so much for supporting. You guys can support the show by going to weirdafnews.com, and you can buy me coffee or join the Patreon there. And every individual that does so, our buddy Michael from Iowa City will be donating $1 for every person that gives to the Weird AF News podcast over the holidays. So that's pretty cool. That'll be through the holidays, so up to New Year's, I believe. So go to weirdafnews.com if you want to contribute. Not necessary, of course. I just appreciate your time. If you'd like to email me, it's funnyjones@gmail.com, and the phone number is 646-450-2012, and I'm on Instagram @funnyjones if you want to keep track of me and what I'm doing and making sure I'm behaving myself, which I'm not.